Yo, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Tez.
And this is your boy CL 4, and this is I Still Love Pro Wrestling, I think, with the 3 dots.
Dot. Don't forget the 3 dots.
I still love pro wrestling, ... I think.
There we go.
Alright, so this one is kind of different. What's going on with CM Punk and AEW?
It's so many conflicting reports. Like, you'll get some of the backstage stuff said the locker room's kind of split, which is a few issues right now the locker room's supposedly split on. But with CM, some people saying he's not being a team player. He's going into business for himself in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And some people say he's like fed up with the booking, and this is just his way of acting out. Like, I don't want to say like an MJ-esque type situation because people still think that's a work, but it seems like to get the results that he's wanting, this is his way of acting out. And I don't know if the company is giving him any type of backlash, but the way that match ended on Dynamite kind of sort of gives some type of indication that maybe they got a disconnect, because that was a squash.
That was horrible.
That was a squash. Like, I get playing off the injury, but I mean, we've seen matches where people have gone in injury and they've lasted a lot longer than that, to the point to where, okay, they got to tap. But my man didn't even lose off a submission.
Dude, like, that match was like a no question in doubt. We don't need no rematch, bro. Like, I whooped you. Ain't no rematch. It's over. Let it go. It's done and over with.
Yeah, he put the nail in the coffin. Not one, but 2 finishes. And I'm like, okay, he got a kick out of that. Nah. 3. And I'm on the couch watching this with my son. My son is in disbelief because he's like, now he sees CM Punk and Moxley as legends. That's what he calls them. He calls them legends because he's watched the footage of the Dean Ambrose days. He's watched the footage of the older CM Punk days from back in the day, Ring of Honor, all that. So he knows that these guys have been around for a long time. So in his eyes, at 6, these are legends. So the first thing he says to me is, wait, he's like, so is that how 2 legends going one-on-one supposed to end? He's like, I didn't expect that. And I'm like, he's 6. And he's saying this.
Oh, man.
So
Less on.
He was expecting a match.
Look at that train wreck. Oh, so Punk. My question is this: how you think this making Punk look now? Like, you already know the reputation with WWE, and a lot of people, WWE has this bad reputation of not caring about certain talent and, being out of touch. So a lot of people sided with Punk on that, right?
Yeah.
So now you go to AEW where supposedly, the boss is wrestler friendly, and then you still having problems. So does this mess up Punk in a way? Like does it mess up his legacy? Does it tarnish his reputation in a way? Because like now you have a problem with like AEW, who has like the most lenient boss kinda in a way. Like, this is not WWE, this is not an evil empire.
It's kind of like being in like bad relationship after bad relationship. If you picking the same type of individual, or and you having the same outcome, at some point you can be like, yeah, that's me. But like you said, it's not the same type of individual, because we talking about 2 different companies, 2 different bosses.
UFC too.
Like, there's a common denominator, and in this case, it's you. And I've always been a fan of CM Punk. I like the straight edge thing. I like the straight edge society Punk. Like, all of his transitions, I have been with Punk. Whether he was a good guy, a bad guy, in between. Even when he was feuding with one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, The Undertaker. And I thought they took it too far when they mocked Paul Bear's death. Because it was still... I think it was within like a couple weeks.
It was still fresh.
And they had the urn with the ashes that was supposedly his, and I thought they went a little far on that. But even with that, I was like, okay, I'm still a CM Punk fan, so I want to see this match, because I think it's gonna be a good match, which it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They always say don't meet your heroes because you'll get disappointed. And I wouldn't call Punk one of my heroes, but as a fan, a lot of times just reading the reports and seeing stuff, I don't think I'd ever want to meet Punk. You know, because I feel like he might say something or do something and you're like, man.
Yeah.
Because you can't even conduct yourself properly around your peers. And I know this is still all, you know, allegedly. But if this is the case, I mean, hey, it's good to see you come back, but yeah.
It's just, man, like, then he's injured again, supposedly, too. So that's not making it any better. Like, you just came back from injury. You injured again?
Man.
Like, how many injuries we talking about here?
Dude
like,
is the Jalen Rose of pro wrestling.
Oh, man. Dude, we just came back from an injury. Now you injured again?
I really, I don't know. And they're talking about I don't know if you've seen the rumors.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor is that All Out, this match is about to happen again. So I'm trying to see, how do you go from a squash to, and then not only just a squash, but a clear injury in the squash, to we finna tape you up and let you come out again to possibly get squashed again. Because if he comes out again, and then, you know, they could have did that because it was TV, but there was a better way of doing it. I would have had Moxley go off the deep end and maybe get a chair or something, get disqualified, something crazy. I would have had him do that before I just let him get a clean pin.
Dude, clean squash win.
That should have been a disqualification.
Oh my goodness!
It's like, if y'all wanted to wait for All Out,
you shouldn't have put the match on in the first place.
Yeah. We all know how Tony Khan think. No offense, Tony Khan, but you like that quick surge. You like that fiend on the corner. You need that hit.
He keep on calling Tony Bischoff because, like, there was this kind of stuff Bischoff used to do, and I love Bischoff.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, that match shouldn't have been on. Like, this shouldn't have been, like, your pay-per-view is like a week of, like, why?
Yeah, that we didn't need that right there, because the card was already stacked. I could see, and that shows you, because whoever watched Dynamite this past week, you knew that card was stacked, and we had a banger of a trios match at the end for the main event.
Yeah.
But it was like throughout the whole show, the card was stacked, so you really didn't even need that match, especially for as short as it was. That really didn't do nothing. If anything, it just left a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
It was bad.
And I don't know, man.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't watch it live because I was at work, but just looking at my friends' chat and, like, them talking about the match, I'm like, no way that happened. No way Punk got squashed. No way, like, they tripping. No way. And then you go watch it, and yeah, he got squashed.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. For him to come back from that, especially with the whole, I'm back to wrestling because I'm gonna show that I can hang with the young people, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get the belt, and I'm gonna have a good title reign, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Like, he was campaigning when he came back, and I would give him this. He was hanging. He did more than what I thought he was gonna do early on, and I would give him props for that at his age, especially being gone for several years and just jumping back in the mix. AEW is not an easy spot to jump in because their work rate is ridiculous compared to WWE.
Yeah.
So I give him props there, but I don't know how you come back from this and look at yourself as a threat. I mean, Jericho done it in AEW, and we done seen my man thrown off the cage onto a mattress. What they call it, the poof pad.
A lot of people gonna get offended when I say this, but this is different. Yes, Jericho's a star, but Punk was supposed to be like the mega star that coming into your company and, like, to me, kind of untouchable. Kind of like a Roman Reigns type of stardom. And imagine Roman Reigns getting squashed like this on SmackDown for his title.
You wouldn't look at Roman Reigns the same next week, because it'd be like, oh, here come Roman, because it shows that you have a weakness. Like the way they presented Roman is they presented him. Granted, he's shown weakness in certain areas, but his team makes him strong. So as a unit, they are feared because you know you're gonna have a problem. With CM Punk, you don't always know you're gonna have a problem. With Jericho, when he surrounds himself with people all the time.
Yeah.
The Inner Circle, the Jericho Appreciation Society, you know you're gonna have a problem when you're dealing with Jericho, even though he was not geared to be the star. CM Punk, the way he's been presented, it's a 50% chance that you're gonna beat CM Punk. CM Punk is not presented as somebody who is going to come out there and you like. I look at Moxley and Bryan Danielson as more of a threat than CM Punk, and it's nothing personal against CM Punk. It's just how he's been presented and how he's carried himself in the company. It's good to see you, but man, I don't know.
Well, hopefully we all get an explanation why our time All Out is coming out. The pay-per-view is coming out next week, so I think we'll get way more clarity on what's going on, why they did it. So, that's why I really don't want to just bury Tony Khan and AEW and what they did until after All Out. After All Out, if there's not something shocking like an MJF comeback or whatever, then expect me to be, boo-booing on this whole thing by the time next week roll around.
Yeah, because something's got to give. It's too many what ifs. It's too many backstage stories going around about this happened, that happened. The roster feels this way, and Tony Khan's gonna be a businessman about it. He gonna keep a straight face, and he's gonna kind of dance around the questions and all that. Which I'll give him props for that because he has had some mishaps on Twitter, where he should have kept his mouth shut in certain issues. All these surprises. Or letting stuff slip, like, oh yeah, guess what? Next week, I'm like, well, that's like somebody telling you what you're gonna get for your birthday or get for Christmas, and them still wrapping it up and putting it under the tree and expecting you to be excited about it. Like, I'm not as excited about it now because I know what's in the box.
We got 3,000 surprises in 2021. This week's surprise.
And it's like there is a such thing as too much of a good thing.
Oh man.
You can wear it out. Like the surprise.
You see, like how WWE right now is doing the whole surprises and stuff like that, but you don't see them going on saying, "Oh, we got a surprise this week." So we're just gonna bring on Johnny Gargano or Dexter Lumis or Karrion Kross. We ain't gonna let you know. So that's how you got to do it. So, like I said before, we go off so the whole CM Punk situation. Give me your last word on it. The backstage stuff. Just give me your last word on it.
My last words are, I hope that the backstage rumors about him being difficult to work with are not true.
Yeah.
I want him as a fan to not be this vile individual behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to see him have a solid, I don't want to say last ride because I don't know how many years he planned on staying, but I want to see him have a solid run where he's injury free and have more rivalries like he did with MJF. Like that was one of the rivalries of the year, and I want to see everything grow and flourish in AEW, and I want him to be one of the pillars. But if the other stuff is true, then it is what it is at that point. Because if you sabotaging yourself, who can help you at that point if you ain't helping yourself?
No, my last word is, I really, 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 really hope that it's an explanation for all this at the pay-per-view. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
Yeah. What was it? A headbutt, 2 finishes, 3 count. Boy, you better pull off something amazing.
Boy, it better be a heel turn. You better be something.
Yeah.
MJF better be coming down here in the helicopter. That's all I'm telling you.
In the helicopter.
Something better happen.
Evolution is a mystery.
Something, man. So, like I said, so we'll holler at y'all. This is I Still Love Pro Wrestling. I think.
Remember the 3 dots?
Please remember the 3 dots. Like, so, CL Cool and my boy Tez, we're signing off.
Yes, sir.